All right, listen. Eric is Eric is out for a couple of minutes, but I know he's not a big boxing guy. But I want to touch on something with boxing right now. The Ryan Garcia fight that we were talking about last time. It's come out recently that Ryan Garcia has done steroids. I guess it's pretty noticeable the way he was hitting Devin Haney in that last fight. I don't know what's going on with that kid. That kid came into boxing. He young kid, uh, fast. Quickly became one of the top ranked boxers. Something's going on with that kid. I don't know what it is. He went a little crazy. I don't know if it's because I don't know what it's because. Maybe it's too much money. Maybe it's too much fame. Maybe it's just he's got a little men's mental health going on right now because the guy. Maybe it's the steroids because he went from being one of the premier young light boxers to a guy that people are talking about as certifiably nuts right now. I hope he's okay. If you're a friend of his, and you're another boxer, find out if he's okay. But the way he beat up Devin Haney in that fight 2 weeks ago was absolutely insane. He had no shot. So the fact that he came out on steroids, maybe he knew that was going to be his last fight. Maybe he's gearing up to go to the UFC. I'm not saying he's going to be good in the UFC, but maybe he's gearing up for something. But maybe he knew it. But I thought maybe at the end of the day, he literally steroided up and wanted to beat the shit out of Devin Haney and knew he was going to get suspended. So that's my take on the Ryan Garcia fight. There's also news about the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. Okay, the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Stuff's been going on about the rules. Talking about headgear. They're talking about it's not going to be a real fight. They're talking about it's going to be an amateur rules. Talking about this. Talking about that. This morning on YouTube, I was watching the breakdown of what the rules are going to be. It's going to be a professional fight. There's going to be knockouts. This is going to be a professional boxing match. Now, if this guy, Jake Paul, is going into this as Jake Paul, Logan Paul, one of them, I get the two of these guys confused. I think that, look, the kid's young. He's a lot bigger. He's a lot tall. He's a lot taller. He's got his reach. I mean, Mike Tyson could turn this into a street fight. Mike Tyson can also, I don't know what he's going to do in this instance, but I think if the real Mike Tyson comes out in this fight, I think that the Paul brothers are going to be superstars in the WWE because that at the end of the day is where this kid needs to go, unless he's really serious about his boxing career. But his brother is just lighting it up in the WWE right now. And so this Mike Tyson fight, this Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight could go either way. If it's I think that if it is just a display, I think that there's a possibility that this kid Jake Paul could win. But if it's a boxing match and Mike Tyson is going into it trying to kill this kid, I think Mike Tyson is going to beat the living crap out of him, send him down to the WWE. That's just my take on the Paul brothers. The Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight is going to be in July, and it's going to be on Netflix, which I think is a great idea. I don't know what's going on with Ryan Garcia, and I watched an interview on Rogan. I'm a big Rogan guy. You guys all know that. UFC. I've just been kind of like a fair weather, fan of the UFC. I watched the last UFC 300 and really got into it. I watched an interview with Max, the guy that won last time. Max Holloway, I think his name is. I'm sorry I had to get in the names, but I watched that fight, and at the end of that fight, I was all in. That was a fight that went the distance. That was a fight that could have gone either way. As a matter of fact, he might have been losing. With 10 seconds left, he put his finger down, and those two guys brawled it out and punched each other like men for 10 seconds. And not to take anything away from either one of those guys, but with 1 second left, that knockout was the craziest thing I've ever seen in sports because that stuff is not faked. It's not staged. It's two men with egos wanting to beat each other up. And for Max Holloway, which I'm hoping I'm saying his name correctly. If not, I do apologize. And you guys are going to call me a Fagaze UFC fan, but I am just getting into it. That was one of the craziest moments I've ever seen in sports. Now, that's what I want to ask, that if some people are still listening right now, that's what I want to ask. Is that one of the craziest things that you have ever seen in sports? Because to me, it is. Throwing a Super Bowl touchdown, hitting a game-winning home run, soccer, whatever it may be. but that UFC match a couple of weeks ago was probably one of the greatest, if not top 3 greatest things I have ever seen in professional sports. UFC, you guys are doing a great job. Dana White, you're the man. You don't let anybody talk shit about your organization, and you put that organization on your back and you made it what it is today. Good luck with that UFC. And guys, if you're not checking out the UFC, check it out. And if you're not checking out the Murph and E-Dub show, check us out on Keep Talking 365 at YouTube. There's also a couple other different types of shows on there. We have everything for your liking. So this is Murph signing off, and good luck to Ben going to New Paul's, and let's have a good weekend, everybody. It's going to be beautiful. This is Murph signing off, and thanks for checking out the Murph and E-Dub show.